Eating healthy foods can help prevent a number of diseases. Prostate Health in your diet, today on Let's Cook. Hi, welcome to Let's Cook. Joining me today is Dr. Max Gomez. Dr. Max is the Health and Science Editor for WNBC in New York and co-author of the book, The Prostate Health Program, a guide to preventing and controlling prostate health. Dr. Max, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for coming on.
My pleasure. This is fun. I like to cook, so I'm looking forward to this.
And we're making some great food today, but one of the reasons we're having you on the show is the prostate is feared by a lot of people as far as maintaining and checking it. So
most guys don't even know what it is, where it is, anything else. If you're sitting on it at home, if you're sitting down, you're sitting on your prostate. But you can do a lot to keep it healthy. Most guys don't know anything about it. But if you get to be old enough, you're going to have either a benign enlarged prostate or prostate cancer. I mean, it's just what happens. It's just made to grow something in there, and it's either going to get bigger and give us problems going to the bathroom, or it's going to develop cancer. But we can do a lot by cooking.
But and in your book, you have a transition diet that is really terrific, and you have recipes in there too. As a matter of fact, the first recipe we're going to do is right out of your book. It's a lentil soup.
It's great. Yeah, it's fabulous. The transition diet is literally what it sounds like. Most of us don't eat all that healthy, right?
No.
As you well know, and every once in a while you can cheat a little bit, but it's a way of transitioning little by little, step by step, meal by meal, literally.
You don't want to try and change overnight.
Well, some people say that's easier to do. I think that's harder to do. I think if you start substituting some things, changing over, and getting to where over a period of weeks or months, you go from unhealthy to a lot healthier.
To healthy. Now, so for today's menu, it including a soup that we're making.
Right.
I'm just going to go over the menu because I looked in your book and I saw you had something on couscous. So I did something with couscous, but I'm making a champagne root salad to go over the couscous.
Perfect.
And then we're also doing a poached salmon in a poached in green tea.
Fabulous.
With a little bit of ginger, which is also green tea is a great antioxidant.
I love all of it. Absolutely.
First thing we're going to do is we're just going to start the lentil soup and this is so easy.
All right. This is where I come in?
This is where you come in. You will be the stirmeister here with
I can do that.
So I'm going to put a little olive oil in here.
All right. That's good.
Then with the olive oil, low-fat ham.
Low-fat ham.
Low-fat ham.
Yeah, that's right.
Small dice.
Good. Yeah, that's a nice flavor to it.
Yeah, and it's also low sodium. That's good too. Now with that, what I like to do is a tomato paste.
That's really,
this is
very important for your prostate. Prostate lycopene, that's what makes tomatoes red. Tomatoes are really high in lycopene, and lycopene turns out to be the best thing you can do for your prostate.
And cooked tomatoes are better than raw.
Cooked are even better than raw because the cooked tomatoes extracts the lycopene out of there. Is it safe to grab over here? I'm not going to.
Yeah. Oh no. This is you're good there. So we have the tomato with the ham with the onions. Then we just add the garlic.
Ooh, lots of garlic. Good. I love it.
Garlic is good for you.
Garlic is good. It's also got some selenium in it, which is good for your prostate. Carrots, a lot of beta carotene, more antioxidants in there. Celery, more antioxidants in there. Fabulous.
Now the mustard seed.
Mustard seed.
That's just for a little flavoring. And these are mushroom seeds that I actually, instead of buying the dried powder mustard, I buy the whole seeds. And then I just grind them.
Wow.
Much better flavor.
Terrific.
Then we're going to add some lentils into this.
Now, lentils and other whole grains and legumes, like lentils here, are fabulous. Again, high in antioxidants and all kinds of what we call phytochemicals, right?
Now, they're also, they're an incomplete protein, aren't they? So with the vegetables, they become a complete protein.
Right, the vegetables
more natural
protein, and it's a great way. You get your whole protein that way. But most importantly, in terms of prostate health in there, is the antioxidants and these other chemicals that help fight all kinds of cancer, not just prostate cancer, by the way.
And here we have some low sodium chicken stock we're putting in there.
Super. All right.
Okay, because the salt is a very dangerous thing for your prostate, isn't it?
Well, it's not great, but you can do a lot worse than salt. If a little bit of salt will help you eat the rest of the food, nice healthy food, then I'm not gonna condemn you for the salt. Okay.
Okay, great.
The salt's okay.
But what about salt cured meats?
Well, salt cured meats tend to be high in nitrates, and that can be bad for your prostate. So, and among other things. So that's not such a great thing.
Here we are. A little bit of thyme in there.
All right.
Some bay leaves in there.
Perfect.
Now the only thing we have to do with this soup is when you make a lentil soup or a legume like this, to really bring out the flavor, you do need an acid in at the end. So we're going to be finishing this with a little bit of vinegar when it's done cooking.
Okay.
Really brings the flavors together.
I did not know that.
Okay. We're going to take a little break, but then when we come back, I'm with Dr. Max, and we are cooking for your prostate, making a couscous root salad. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where we are making recipes that can reduce your risk for prostate cancer and slow its progression. Joining me is Dr. Max Gomez, who is the Health and Science Editor for WNBC in New York and co-author of the book, The Prostate Health Program, A Guide to Preventing and Controlling Prostate Cancer. Dr. Max, you know, I mean, the book that you've written that has a transition diet,
Right.
it has what you need to look at and what are really healthy tips to maintaining a healthy
It's really
prostate.
kind of an owner's manual for your prostate, because again, most guys don't know very much about it.
And I think a lot of people, when they hit they think, well, when they hit 40 or they hit 45 or 50, when should you start looking
Here's
at
a way to look at it. First is, if you get prostate cancer or any other kind of cancer at age 50, 60, 70 or whatever, it didn't happen just that day. You know, it's not today's the day I woke up with it. That's been in the works for years and years and decades, probably, especially with prostate cancer. So the time to start eating healthy is as early as you can possibly start eating healthy. In terms of getting checked, the good thing is most men age 50, an annual PSA, that's the blood test, and a digital rectal exam, DRE. Digital rectal exam has nothing to do with computers. You know, that's the finger. That's the fear of the finger that most men aren't so crazy about. But yearly, if you're in a high risk category, if you're African American, if you've got a family history of prostate cancer or any other reasons, any other sort of abnormality in the prostate, then you really ought to start probably at age 40.
At age 40.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I had the test done, I just had the PSA done, and I left the office and I was, hey, this is great. A little bit of blood, I'm happy, okay? And then the next year I went back, the doctor actually said to me, he says, PSA doesn't cut it, Paul. We have to, what the
DRE.
The DRE.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
It makes the PSA is not a perfect test. It's got a lot of problems with it, and the DRE helps.
So, and it's better informed to be not informed.
Absolutely, always.
And
it's 30 seconds of discomfort once a year, and you can live with that.
And it starts with diet.
Yep, it absolutely starts with diet.
So now what I have right here, this is really good. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
What do I do?
We have some cooked tomato couscous here, which is loaded with the lycopene. Very good for you.
The couscous, perfect.
Okay. Now I have a bunch of root vegetables here. I have, and I'm going to blanch these now.
Okay.
The reason I'm blanching these is just to make them more palatable. The amount of water-soluble vitamins you'll lose in this when you blanch them is minimal.
It's very quick, yeah.
Okay, so we have our rutabaga there. We have some turnip. We have some carrot. These are all roots.
Yeah, and these are all terrific. They're very high in antioxidants, all kinds of chemicals that are going to be cancer preventative for it. And not just prostate, all over.
All over. Parsnip. Leek.
Great.
Some now the greens are very important too.
Absolutely.
So we have the snow peas there, and all I do is I blanch these for just about this long, about a half a minute here, and then I'll just remove these. See the color come out? It's great.
Oh, that's nice.
And I just shock these in a little bit of ice water.
So that stops the
cooking process, cools it down. But you could, if you wanted to, you could leave this warm, and you could serve this as a warm dish too. Would be very good. It's just, it's a lot of cutting action with the veggies here. So we can take our veggies, just shock them this way, drain them well. And you can see this will be a very vibrant salad too. So when you're thinking healthy, think vibrant. I'm going to drop that in there.
All right, hang on. I'm working on the lentils over
how's
here.
the lentil soup? That's looking good. That's almost done.
That does
Now,
look good. Right.
if you could just season this with a little bit of pepper,
Sure.
I'm going to add the salt that we need in there. Extra virgin olive oil.
Great. Good stuff.
And then we're using a champagne vinegar. And this kind of brings out the flavor. This is some fresh oregano.
Oh,
some
nice,
fresh,
okay.
some fresh herbs. So, and I just leave it whole like that.
Okay.
And then also to go in there, if you have some cilantro or some dill,
like that. Yeah.
anything
You
like
ready
that.
for me yet?
Yeah, you can go ahead and start to toss that, Dr. Max. A little bit of dill in there. It's a beautiful salad.
This looks fabulous.
Okay. That's beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to taste this for salt and pepper.
Okay.
Mm.
How'd I do?
You did real good with the pepper. I think I was a little heavy with the salt.
worry,
I don't
yeah.
know.
And maybe you just got one bad spot there. How's
Okay, so this salad is done. Very healthy for you.
Okay. Yep,
Very healthy for
absolutely.
your prostate. We have the lentil soup going.
Good.
And then when we come back, the salmon is a very good fish for you.
Terrific. High in omega-3 fatty acids. Good for your heart. Good for your prostate.
Good for
Terrific.
everything.
Yeah.
That's why we're going to poach it in a little bit of green tea when we come back. Don't go anywhere. It's cooking for a healthy prostate today. Let's cook. We'll be right back. Institute for Cancer Prevention scientists have discovered that readily available green and black teas have similar health-promoting properties, although green tea is more potent. IFCP studies confirm that tea drinkers have a lower risk of prostate and other types of cancer, as well as heart disease. That quote is from the book, The Prostate Health Program, a guide to preventing and controlling prostate cancer. Joining me in the kitchen today is Dr. Max Gomez, co-author of the book. And we got some lentil soup going here.
Yeah, this is really great.
This is healthy for your prostate.
Absolutely.
We did the
Legumes,
couscous and
vegetables.
root salad, but now it's time for the entree.
Okay.
Now it's time
What are
for
we gonna
this
do?
salmon. So we have this, Dr. Max, we have this beautiful
That's
salmon
That
here.
is a great piece of fish. Huh?
Beautiful. Now, when we're talking about salmon and you're talking about
Mhm.
farm-raised salmon as opposed to wild salmon,
Right.
there's a difference.
Yes, there's a difference. Well, aside from the difference in flavor,
Uh-huh.
farm-raised salmon has had, the farmers have had a tendency to sort of grind up the old fish and feed them back to the new fish.
Exactly.
And what that has done is it's sort of concentrated the PCBs so that it keeps getting more and more concentrated with
Yes.
each generation. So the wild salmon tends to be better than the farm-raised, although they're supposedly cleaning up the farm-raised salmon. We'll see what happens.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to poach this salmon,
Mhm.
and I have some green tea here, which is a great antioxidant.
Lots of antioxidants in green tea. And by the way, as you said, it's in both green tea and black tea. So,
Yes.
but the green tea has more of it. So
Okay.
that's a great way to add a little more to the salmon, which by itself is healthy because it's got the omega-3 fatty acids. So
Yeah,
we're doing good.
and actually, the fatty acids are right here closer to the skin, and
That's right.
we're going to poach this with the skin on.
Okay.
So
good.
what I'm going to ask you to do while I get the fish ready here is
All
I'm
right.
going to ask you to take equal quantities of the green tea and some vegetable broth here and just put it into the
Okay.
pan. And I'm going to give you a few aromatics to go in there. I'm going to give you
Okay.
some shallots. Doesn't that feel great to pour with two
That's
hands?
beautiful. Yeah. All right. Whoop. All right. There
Okay,
goes the tea bag.
The tea bag can stay in there.
Tea bag can stay
Well,
in there.
actually,
All right.
we're going to
Yeah, that's
remove
gonna be
this
a
tea
problem.
bag because when we finish this, we actually take the contents of the tea bag and put it over the fish.
Wow. Okay.
So that-
Yeah,
so
should we
that's
turn this
good.
guy on?
You can turn him all the way up there. We're going to bring that up to a boil. I
Okay.
have the ginger here. Now, what about ginger for your prostate?
Also good. Pretty much any fruits, fresh fruits,
Uh-huh.
vegetables, fresh spices like that, root vegetables, legumes, whole
Anything like
grains,
that?
all of that's great. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
You got
Okay,
it?
so we got
Okay.
that there. And then I'm just going to a little bit of acid now.
Hmm.
And we
Stirring
can
here?
strain the sauce. So yeah, we're
Okay.
just going to bring that totally up to a simmer.
Okay.
Now with the fish here, I'll just show you. This is kind of interesting with the fish because when you get a farm-raised salmon as opposed to an Atlantic salmon, there are pin bones that are right here.
Right, right.
And you need to remove those. Now, when you're removing these pin bones, the older the fish is, the harder
That's what
these
those
are to
pliers
come
are
out.
for, huh?
This is
Nail those
exactly
pliers?
what
I
they're
never-
for. Yeah,
I've always wondered about that. I never knew how to get them out. That's great.
yeah, and,
Okay.
and you don't want to really puncture the fish. You could leave these in, but these you can actually feel
Mm-hmm.
that it's not coming out that easy because if it comes out too easy, the fish is not fresh, or it
right.
might be farm raised.
Gotcha.
And I have a tendency of staying away from farm raised fish myself, especially if the wild salmon or the Pacific salmon. Is
So I should clean the WD-40 off though before I do that?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or only use them. Actually, you want to get stainless steel. Okay,
Of course. Yeah,
so it doesn't
of
react
course.
with any
Sure.
of the acids
Yep.
that are naturally
Mhm.
found in the food. Now, then what we'll do with this is that are we almost
Not
at a
quite.
boil there?
Yep.
Oh, that'll be up soon.
Okay.
Now with the fish here itself, what I'll do is I'll cut about an 8-ounce portion
Mhm.
here. We'll go all the way through it right this way. Now, here's another good trick with the salmon. This side is much thicker.
Right.
This is a higher fat content right here.
Okay.
So what you need to do with the salmon when you go to poach it is you need to cut into the salmon this
Ah.
way. Then you turn it this way, you cut it this way. This way, by cutting these little cuts,
This side cooks a little faster.
it'll cook the same amount of time as this side right here.
Great. trick.
So
Wow.
I'm gonna drop.
All right.
Oh, that's got to be at a boil. Let me get
All right.
one more ready
Okay.
here because
Okay.
once we put the salmon in there, we will just almost shut off the heat
Okay.
and just let the natural heat that's in the broth cook it.
See,
The other
I'm
thing
learning about salmon. You're learning about prostates. We're
The
doing
other
good.
thing, yeah, and I don't. Okay, here. I have. I
No
have,
exams today.
You know, no exams
No
today, but I'll
exams
show you how to
Okay.
fold the parchment
Okay.
paper here. Where we take the parchment paper. This is like an origami.
Origami. You can get that right
Origami.
in a roll. You can buy just rolls of this
You
stuff.
can just buy rolls of this, the
Okay.
same way you would wax paper. But all I do
Okay.
is I fold it like that, and then to make sure it's going to fit, I just measure from the middle of there.
Okay.
Crimp it with my finger right here.
Okay.
Come over here with my knife. Just simply cut across it, and hopefully, when I open it up, it's going to fit the top of the pan and
Wow.
totally cover the fish. Now that's at a boil.
Not bad. Okay.
That's good. So we
Okay.
just gently drop this in here.
Mm-hmm.
And now the liquid itself should come to just to barely cover the fish.
Okay.
Then I'll give you a spoon right here. We're going to turn this down now and just wet the fish this way
Okay.
and baste it so that it
Okay,
changes
yep.
color.
Got it.
Then
Yep. It's doing it.
we take our parchment paper right here,
Okay.
leave this right on top. That'll hold the heat in. Just let this fish sit there for about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It will be done.
And you turned it off. So
I
it's just
turned it
using
off.
The heat that was there. Okay.
Now, you could also put this in a nice slow oven too. A nice slow oven right around 250 to 275 degrees. Slower the fish cooks, the better it's
Right.
going to be. You don't want
Mhm.
real high heat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have our fish going here.
Okay.
Our lentil soup is
Oop.
almost ready. We have
Okay.
to finish that.
Yeah.
We need to take a little break. And then when we come back, we can pull out our fish, finish the sauce, finish our lentil soup. We are cooking for your prostate today, and Dr. Max Gomez is with me. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where I am with Dr. Max Gomez, who co-authored the book here, The Prostate Health Program. And we've been actually cooking for your prostate today,
Right.
making recipes that are really healthy.
Really healthy. And it's, I mean, healthy for your prostate, healthy really all over, but especially for your prostate.
Okay, exactly. And because we want to stay away from these.
That's right. You do
You want to eat a lot.
Well, you're still not going to be able
I
to stay
can't even
away
put
from
it on
that.
right. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
well,
going on.
that's good. So
We'll
don't do
give
any
it, we'll
exams.
give, we'll give it no
When do we get to
exams.
eat? I want to eat. I've been
You-
cooking
you-
all
okay.
day. I want to
You
eat.
got in about 2
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. All
Got
right.
about 2 minutes left here. So we have our salmon here. I'll show you how we finish the
Ooh.
salmon out. So this was
Right.
this is a salmon that we started to poach in the green tea and the vegetable broth with some
Okay.
shallots, a little bit of ginger.
All,
Okay.
all very good for your
All-
prostate.
so we just take
Beautiful.
this, take
Okay.
this, set this up on a plate here. Then what I like to do is I like to take actually some of the green tea leaves out of the tea bag,
Okay.
put them right in there, a little bit of chive here, and then we take some of the broth here
Mhm.
and serve it just with the broth. So we just have a little bit of broth
Oh,
going right.
Nice.
Look, doesn't
Very
it look
nice.
great?
Sure does.
Oh, this is again the green tea loaded in
healthy.
antioxidants.
All of it. Antioxidants, all kinds of antioxidants. Likewise in the omega-3 fatty acids in the salmon, in the chives. Everything's great.
Everything's good there.
Yep.
Now, the
Good
other
for
thing that we need to do
Okay.
is we need to finish the lentil soup here.
Okay. So that means a little squirt of acid.
A little bit
vinegar,
of vinegar right in there.
like that. How's that?
That's good. Stir that around.
Okay.
And then
Stir
I
that.
need you to, you can shut that off now. Now, what the vinegar does, there we go. What
Okay.
the vinegar does, Dr. Max, is it actually brings out all the flavors of everything. So if you'd like to taste that,
Bet.
Dr. Max has been, since we started the show, he's been Paul the lentil soup. Whenever we went to break, he was a lentil. But it might be a little hot.
Very nice.
Isn't
That
that good?
vinegar makes a difference. It really does.
Vinegar really brings out the flavor. So you can go ahead and start to just set up in the soup right here,
Okay.
Dr. Max. And I'm going to just taste this broth right here for the salmon, making sure. Oh, you're going to like this.
By the way, did we talk about what else is good for your prostate?
Oh, that's the other thing. Aside from eating a good diet, I believe that
Active sexual life is good for your prostate.
ve-
You've got to use it or lose it, and you don't even have to use a partner.
hear that, everybody? You heard that on Let's Cook. Use it or lose it with Dr. Max Gomez and healthy cooking for your prostate. That's great. But now hold it. I need. I knew I was going to lose it before the end of the show. God, try. And see, that's good.
That is
See?
good.
Very subtle.
Yeah, it is subtle.
Really, really light. So let's just review what we did.
Okay.
And again, the transition diet is in your book, and there are all recipes in your
Recipes in their heart.
in your book there. So
That's
it's
right.
out of
Prostate
this
Healthy
world.
Diet.
So I think we don't have time to review. I just want to thank you for coming on the show,
pleasure.
Dr.
Thank
Max. It's my pleasure.
It was
I
fun.
want to thank everybody out there for watching. And remember, eat healthy for a healthy prostate. Thanks again. Bye-bye now.